And welcome to my vlog. My name is Gail, and of course I'm the host of Random Life Productions. Today we are going to talk about a lady called Vivian Maier. This video came about as a conversation with Little Poet, piqued my interest. She asked me in a message one day, "Do you know who Vivian Maier is?" I said no. She said she had a present from her son talking about this woman called Vivian Maier. It had me hooked and had me intrigued, and this today is going to be a brief story of Vivian and how her photography and her work has inspired my own. Susan is also making a video, so you can go over to her channel and watch this, and I do hope that you learn a little bit about this lady because her work is stunning. So let's go on this journey. I'm currently in the middle of the city of London. I'm near this place called the Old Jamaica Inn, which was one of the city's original inns and the scene of the London coffee shops and part of the basis of the city of London. So it's a real honour to start this journey at this point. So let's begin the video.
A young man called John Maloof embarked upon her journey. His journey was to find some photographs for a book to compile a history of Chicago's North Side. He conducted an epic search for these photographs, and he happened upon a locker. And within this locker, a storage unit, abandoned for unpaid rent, was a whole selection of photographs by the photographer Vivian Maier. He picked up the box and it unravelled the work inside. And after many months, he compiled the work and bought many other boxes. Altogether, there were 150,000 works of photography. Vivian lived in Chicago. Her photography was based in Chicago, and before living there, she lived in France and New York, and her photography was about her travels there. In her lifetime, she wasn't discovered. She worked as a nanny within Chicago, and her photography is around Chicago and the surrounding areas. These streets were the streets she walked, and the inspiration for the images contained in her photographs. I had to include the films she made because I think it's important for you to see the world that she saw, the world that she embraced, the people she watched and she took pictures of. It's the same for me in London. This is my city. These are the footsteps I have to walk, the people I see, the pictures I take. I have learnt so much from the work of Vivian Maier. It has challenged me so much in my photography. She was truly a talent. She started with a box camera. I can't imagine working one of those. Ended up with a Rolleiflex, a Leica, and using a whole host of different cameras along the way as she improved in her photography. Some of her work is stunning. Her observation of people on the street, objects, events and things fly straight at you and you're engulfed in her photography. I look at this woman and wonder what she's looking at. I look at this shot and I see the man with the child looking back, the newspaper clip, people observing the news. It's also fascinating. Moments of self-reflection and life. Oh, to be like Vivian Maier for the day. I wonder what pictures I could take. I wonder what I could create. I wonder what Little Poet could create when she walks the streets. We shall have to look at our work and what we do. So the next chapter is about the work
Vivian Maier spent some of her life in France, some of her life in New York. In fact, we find when she was 17 years old, she worked in a sweatshop in New York. She eventually landed in Chicago, where she became a governess. From what we know, her childhood was not a happy one. It was within various foster homes. She was living with various family members, and it must have been a very lonely place for her. And I think her photography and the way she acquired possessions was her way of keeping things safe, of preserving her memories and her glimpses of life. And she looked in areas of Chicago which were poor. And I think it's because she understood the people there. And the places where we wouldn't think was home, she found safety. And I think these are some of the reasons why she took the photographs she did, and maybe why she stored them. She almost called herself a spy, a person who was going around and looking for things to photograph, those hidden treasures. And as I do my photography, I feel very much the same way. I feel like a spy. And I'm sure that's the way that Susan feels. We're taking this magic little box out with us, and we're finding things that are hidden treasures and are valuable to us. And the genius of Vivian Maier is the way she captured it. And the details are just there. You know she observed her world. You know she had a really good eye for the world. At the end of this video, I'm presenting a montage. And this combines the work of myself and Susan Little Poet. I'm not going to put who did the work. I'm just going to play it as a piece and say this is a vision of two artists from around the world who live in two different cities, have two different lives, but have a love and understanding of photography and filmmaking. And we're trying to understand the life of a woman who lived in Chicago
and set about to go on a photographic journey. We have to make room for other people. It's a wheel. You get on, you go to the end, and someone else has the same opportunity to go to the end, and so on, and someone else takes their place. There is nothing new under the sun.